Good morning, everyone. We will be starting in a few minutes. Thank you very much. We're going to get started now. Good morning and welcome to this installment of the free webinar series sponsored by Pet Store Pro and Global Pet Expo Academy. I'm Celeste Powers, President of the Pet Industry Distributors Association. Thanks for being here this morning. I compliment you all on carving out this time to learn new ideas designed to help your business grow. Before introducing today's speaker, I want to remind you that you can watch all of the Global Pet Expo Academy webinars, including this one, on our website, globalpetexpo.org, under the Seminars tab. And of course, you can also access all of the free retailer training on Pet Store Pro 24/7 at petstorepro.com. This morning's speaker truly needs no introduction. She has been a featured speaker at Global Pet Expo for nearly a decade, providing insight on hot topics such as customer loyalty and social media marketing. I'm sure the number of folks who have registered for this event speaks to the respect for her expertise. Lynn Switanowski is the founder and president of Creative Business Consulting Group, a Boston-based retail consulting firm. With more than 30 years of retail experience, including more than 12 years helping pet industry businesses, CBCG helps retail businesses of all sizes understand the business opportunities created by changing consumer trends. This morning, Lynn will present Money-Making Marketing for Your Pet Business, Turning Post into Dollars Today. Take it away, Lynn.
Thank you, Celeste. That was a very kind introduction. My enthusiasm for this pet audience is shared back very much so. I love being part of these groups, whether it's at Global or working with you guys on this webinar series. And I always have great excitement when I'm getting ready to do these. Just for those of you on the audience, last night I was thinking of more things to add. So even until 8 o'clock last night, I was adding content for this session because, it's constantly, my brain is constantly whirling. How can you make more money? And so I'm excited to share with you today. Let me be clear. Some of you may have attended this webinar series before. That's great. You're here live. The numbers I see keep growing, so that's great. Just a reminder, the handout, if you want to follow along, there is a PDF attached under the section that says handouts. So if that is how you like to work, pull that down and just click on that, pull that to your computer, and then you can follow along with me here. Also know that it will be there throughout the session. And also the recording of this session, you can go back and listen to at any given time. Also, for those of you who want to ask a question, there's a chat box there. Just type your question, and then we will consolidate those questions. I'll save some time at the end. You'll hear an alarm go off about 10 minutes before so that we can answer questions. All right, so let's get started. What are we going to do today? First of all, let's talk about making sure, as I said, you can download the presentation. If for some reason you hang up or don't think about it, email me, we'll get you a copy. You can email Marcy or Celeste at the global seminar, and we'll get you that information. The key is that you have it. I want to talk about a couple things. Obviously, as we go through here today, the subject line of this, or I should say the title of this webinar, was money-making marketing. And what I want you to do, if it's possible, if you're in a place to be quiet and just listen along, that's great. But I would love it if you could put yourself in 30,000 feet above your business, not the owner of the business, not involved in the day-to-day everything, but for this hour to really listen, if you can, from a very open mind about how consumers have changed. And I meet a lot of you in person. When I'm at Global on these webinars, you ask questions, and I know that you feel some frustrations about the changing market and what that means for your business and where that means you take your business. In this particular instance, and for the future, I understand your frustrations are real, but what I would love for you to understand is that the consumer is not going backwards. And that can be a source of frustration for you, or it can be, in this spot today, how do we, as an independent pet retailer or a pet business, how do we deal with this consumer and where their changes and what they want has changed and move forward for our business? I can't, we're not going back, like I said, to 1990, 1970, when no internet existed. The preponderance of the internet is a factor of business in 2019. It will be a bigger factor of business in 2022. So yes, it might create some frustration, but I would suggest that the opportunity to connect with your customers on a one-on-one basis, 24/7, is actually been perpetuated by the internet as well. And from a opening your front door perspective, walking into your business, connecting with your business, I would love for all of you to think about that as a marketing opportunity. If you look at some of the statistics here, the internet represents the fastest channel for growth in pet product sales. That being said, you all are, immediately everyone says, oh, they're going to, online retailers. I am going to talk to you today about how you need to talk to this internet customer so that they come to your front door, so that they work with your pet business, so that their internet searches lead to your pet business, and therefore they connect with you and want to do business with you. That's how you have to think about it. And I understand it's a very big paradigm shift, and it's more involved than just marketing. Some of it is pricing, but I want to talk to you about this consumer. You may think they're not loyal. What they really are is wanting personal connections. And in some cases, they want value, and value has changed, not just from price. Yes, that's a perfect indicator, but value is also represented in time. And some of what we need to sort of work through with you is time to market, time to purchase. This particular slide indicates that. If you look on the left-hand side, many of you have this customer, buyers who did not use a mobile device, either for research in advance of their purchase, or they in fact just came into your store and they made a purchase. Now this number of days, 84, it's all the way on the left there, is the number of days. Sometimes that may not be for specifically, I need to buy pet food, right? I just got a new puppy, I need to buy pet food. That purchase might not have taken, 84 days, but in general, for a purchase, from the time I think about buying it to, maybe I'm thinking about getting a dog. Well, what do I feed that dog when I get that dog? Cat, fish, bird, whatever, horse, whoever's on this call here. Essentially, average time is 84 days if I didn't use any mobile connections. Now let's move down the chain. As a buyer, I used mobile for research. It only took me 65 days to make that purchase, 19 days faster when I incorporated some type of mobile activity, research, information, scouring a store's website or brand's website, doing research via blogs, watching videos. So you can see the speed to purchase is increased dramatically. Now go to the final column, which is that buyer used mobile extensively, and it was 49 days. So literally in some 35 days faster than not using a mobile device. And again, your store, your business today, who is your customer? Some of you are going to tell me that you are on the left. I would argue none of you are on the left, in that there is not one person who walks in your door that didn't do some type of research, your hours, what time you're open, saw your Facebook page, maybe looked at your website, maybe Googled a brand that they wanted to buy and found on that brand's website that it was located at your store. That's why they're coming to your store. Many of you probably sit in the middle. Buyers use mobile in some way to research, right? You're going to get to the point where mobile becomes the way people connect. So the question that you have to ask yourself, how are you capitalizing on this? And we're going to talk about marketing today. And with this mindset of this mobile base and understanding that customers are researching and shopping online, where you have to put your marketing hat on for your pet business is to say, I have to be in mobile. You may be kicking and screaming. That's okay. We'll get through it together. But the reality is your customers are there. And again, making money from marketing, if we met on a street corner 10 years ago, 20 years ago, or if we meet in 10 more years, the key to marketing is reaching your customers where they are. So we are in the middle here. Buyers are using, most of you probably buyers are using mobile for some part of the transaction. I would argue if there's e-commerce retailers on this call that you're going to say, no, I'm already on the right. I understand that my speed to purchase is faster. What do I need to do to up that path? So that's a very critical piece of the success of your business, is understanding what your customers want. Here's where your customers are today, right? And I didn't want to, I had the slide back up so I knew what was coming. But if you perceive your store on the prior slide as only offline, that's not reality today. Good news, people want to shop in brick and mortar stores. This mostly online, only online mix is only 16% of total purchases. But again, this large piece, mostly, if you will, online and offline, is the bulk of where your customers are. So what option does your pet business offer these customers? We are talking about marketing today. So ask yourself, how do I connect? How do I offer solutions, options for my omni-channel, my brick and mortar, people walking in my front door maybe, and people shopping online? How do I create an experience that meets their needs? And if some of you have heard me say this probably in person, but my one rash, commentary is for those of you on this call that have a front door to your business. Imagine if your front door was locked and you had to do business out the back door. How would you do it? How would you communicate to your customers what you sold, what you carried, why your business was the best business ever, why people needed to shop with you, how convenient it was to shop with you? Even though the front door was locked, you found ways to make it convenient. Pick up, order online, pick up in store. We do free delivery. There's a lockbox in the back. Maybe we have a Shopify page. Maybe we sell on our social media. Really push yourselves to say, my front door is locked. How do I communicate with people that my store is open for business? And everything that you do as a marketer has to communicate your value proposition. And again, I'm not going toward e-commerce. Everybody doesn't want to go that way. But why e-commerce businesses have succeeded and continue to grow is that they understand they don't have a front door. So their whole model was built on that methodology. We have to tell people what our value is, and they've never met us. They've never walked into a physical location. So the brick and mortar, retail channel is alive and well. Consumers want to shop there. There is no doubt about that. The key is, how do we communicate that we are modern in how we approach our customers as they continue to change? And I would suggest that's the one place where people have sort of fallen behind. So if we can have the conversation today, I think that will help you guys frame it for the future. And again, I want to spend time on this because I really want you to think about everything you do. We just talked about how that mobile is a function before shopping. I'm sure most of you know this. People use their phones in store. So while they're shopping at your brick and mortar location, they are using mobile as a resource to help make purchase decisions. They're using search engines, they're using your website, right? And instead of being afraid of that, the job for you as marketers is to create content that is so good that while you're standing there talking to them in store, you're actually telling them to use their phone to look at videos that you've linked about the product that they're looking at, how this item works, what are the features and benefits of it, introducing them to things like your list app so they can create a list and send it to you anytime they want to. We're going to talk about all these things, so don't panic. But keep in mind, you can't keep your head in the sand. Your customers are moving forward. My job, as I see it, is to help you understand the mindset of this customer. Are you all? See, that's the problem. When I'm with you in person, I can see your faces and I can see you all rolling your eyes and getting nervous and chewing your nails. Now I just have to imagine you all doing that on this webinar. So let's beat the dead horse. Yes, Lynn, I'm repeating it one more time, but now I want you to think about, okay, we've shifted into, I know I have to be there. Where does it start? And in my mind, it starts, continues, and right now I wouldn't say ends. It starts and continues with social media. So at this point, most of you have your Facebook page up and running. I'm going to go and say that's a no-brainer. Whether you post on it regularly enough, whether your content is interesting, that's where we're going to spend some time talking about money-making content for you. Instagram, not so many of you, not as many of you on it, and that would be my suggested goal for 2019 is to really start to embrace Instagram and understand that visual medium, that short snippet of information medium is really powerful to consumers today. Pinterest is, again, a visual image with education, information. So that may be something down the road. Once you get your Facebook content flowing and people are engaging with you, you decide to embrace Instagram. A lot of that imagery can be shared. And then Pinterest is a social repository. So all of those great things that you see on your social media can be stored on your Pinterest page. Here's the right pie chart gives you an indication that when people are doing searches on social media, it actually leads to a purchase. So they bought it online later, they bought it online immediately. And again, this is an online, so it's very easy to relate to online purchases. But we're going to talk about social selling, and there is a way for you, or ask yourself, is there a way for you to move and link people and connect people to making purchases at your pet business? Does your social media inspire your customers? Now we're starting to move into what your content looks like, because in my world, I've spent the first part trying to explain to you how consumers' heads are thinking, right? They use online as a tool for research, for information to make a purchase. Now we need to move to what is the purpose of your social media? If we know we have to be there, if we know consumers are using these online tools, right? What do you need to do? How do you connect with your customers and inspire them with what you show on your social media, on your individual website, right? If you look down the channel here, there's a lot of tools that you can use to connect with your customers to inspire them about purchasing. And again, purchasing in your brick and mortar pet store, purchasing in your online, pet business. If there are manufacturers on this call, it's the same thing. What do you post about that will inspire either retailers to want to carry your product, or B, consumers to learn about your product and to go into these pet retailers and ask for it? So this works all the way up and down the chain. Social networks are the #1 influencer and inspirer. Your website, if you have a website, what do you do with it? Is it just static, or do you update it more regularly? Do you add videos? Do you add chat to it? Do you have reviews going to your website? Things that people will learn about your store, about the brand you carry, and be inspired to make a purchase. So the way I phrase it here is the content you're putting out doing its job of inspiring customers to want to do more. Walk into your front door, call, text, buy. Doesn't start overnight. I'm not being flip here, but when I'm saying, are you seeing the big picture? Why do customers leave a company? Customer believes you don't care about them. Obviously, right? All of you are like, oh, but they're going online. Look at that. Persuaded to go to a competitor, and those online retailers are competitors. That's not the factor. Dissatisfied with your service. Yes, I know you all want to do better and do well all the time. But the bottom line is that the customer believes you don't care about them. And let me make sure that you get the framing of this. The customer believes you don't care about them because you're not connecting with them on social media, because you're not making it convenient for them to shop in your store. And by that, I mean before hours or after hours, or because the line is too long at the register, because you don't have, mobile checkout capability. The sales associates are busy or don't have and can't get to the customer, so there's not enough information. The products that you've displayed in your store are, the food is in the traditional model of in the back, and I'm an old woman and I can't carry a 25-pound bag of food to the front. Those are reasons that the customer believes you don't care about them. Not connecting where they are and in the way they want to connect, and you not understanding as a retailer that they are very busy in a very busy world, and you're not making the transaction fast enough for them. That is you not caring about them. I am suggesting that is not the case. I know all of you personally. I've met a lot of you. I know that you care about your customers. But the new generation of customers wants you to care in additional ways, not just traditional ways, in these additional internet-inspired ways. So when I say you don't care about them, it's in these new kind of modern ways. And that is the key. When you think about making money for your business, how can you communicate that you care about the customer and what matters to them? Go back to that buying online scenario, buying, front door closed. How do you communicate that it's okay for you, that you don't begrudge them wanting to get in and out quickly? So here's how we start to do that, right? Your posts, we're talking, again, money-making ideas. How do you turn those posts into money? How do you create content that allows your customers to be inspired, to want to go to your website, obviously to visit your physical store, to share how great your store is with their friends and family, recommend or review, right? Buy your brand over another one, draw inspiration, increase spending. All of these things are actions that you want your customers to do when they see your social media. So for instance, visit my brand's physical store. That may be you taking a picture and putting on social media that you've just changed your windows, that you've just got a new product in. There's a video of a great store event that you did last year that the anniversary is coming up for. Those are social introductions on your pages that lead to customer coming and visiting my store. Talking about the brand could be a referral program. You have a great referral program and your social posts are, don't forget about our referral program, share our store page, have them join us on Facebook, share this with 3 friends, and we're running a contest and you could win a $25 gift card. Now your social introduction leads to 3 potential new customers, because that's what they had to do. And those potential customers come in with an intro from a current customer that could lead to more sales for you. So as you go through this list here, your idea is to create content that drives customers to these activities. Increase spending. Let's talk about that. Did you know we have a shopper club? And when you spend $250 with us, you get a $10 credit for anything for your next purchase. Another post on that same content, on that same topic could be, have you checked your spending card balance lately? Don't forget, you could be close to $10 in free money, pet store cash. So there's other ways and consistent ways over the same message that you can deliver it. Now, if I'm a person that follows your pages and I had no idea about your spending club, and now I see you talking about it on a regular basis, and I have to make a big purchase of pet stuff, or I'm getting a pet, that might lead to a social introduction. We're still doing marketing here. You're not going to convert everybody. What you are going to do is expose your brand to as many people as you can, be consistent, and therefore try and convert them. And if we convert 10% of people who've never heard about your business before, who heard about it through a friend, who saw it online because your video was so good that it went viral and it happened to go into their feed because they were talking about dogs and you did an ad on it, that's how you're going to meet new customers. And everything you do can support that purchase for that customer. Let's talk about where you are. There's plenty of people on this call today who are in different phases of their business. So you have to ask yourself, everybody is not in the same place, but use this slide as a reference and say, where am I? What do I want to do? So my business objective, I'm brand new. I want to grow my brand. I want to, I'm turn customers into advocates. I've been an established business. I've got really loyal customers, but I actually need to do more to get them to help me market my business all the time. If you follow this path through, let's take those customers. I know you all have customers who love your business. I speak to you, like I said, and I meet you and you tell me about how you've had customers for years, how they love you, how they write you personal notes. Well, how do we turn that personal note customer, who is your best customer, into a social media introduction to new customers? Okay, right? Your social media goal is I want to get people engaged. I want to get people to like and mention my business. So now maybe you take this customer that wrote you a handwritten note and take a picture of it, or take a video of you opening, the note and reading it and saying, we love our customers, right? Thanks for your kind words. Now somebody who wasn't on social media now has, if you will, gone onto social media, and it gives everybody else a chance who also loves your business, who follows you, to comment and like and mention your business as well. So what's your business objective? How do you line up your social media, what I call goals, right? Awareness, what the heck, who is this brand? Engagement, okay, I want to do something, like, share, comment, right? Conversion, I want to buy. And then consumer is, I want to talk about how much I love this brand. And that's testimonials, that's continuing on. Does that make sense? I'm looking to see here if we're getting questions along the way. So far, so good. So we'll just keep going here. Somebody says, I take screenshots of great reviews and thank people on our Facebook page. That's a great idea. Thanks for bringing that up. Okay, so let me put this back here. So now let's talk about where you all find inspiration. Of course, I have to put a cute dog photo. I did get a new puppy this year, so I'm all about puppies and dogs. I should have put a picture of my Cooper up there so you could see, but I'll do it on the next one. So what pages do you follow, right? How do you make your brand relevant? Start with what you like. Start with who you get inspired by. And the reason I'm saying that is you're a consumer. You are a consumer of whatever. You have a hobby that you get to do very infrequently because you're a retailer, but on the weekends you love to knit. And there is this page that you follow on knitting, and they just have quotes about knitting. They have how-to instructional videos. They have really inspirational things, stories about, charities that you donate this to, and you just can't wait to go back to this page again and again and again, because every time you go there, you just feel good. I know you all have one of those. Knit, yarn business, coffee shop that you go to, sports team that you follow. Make it personal first and ask yourself why you go there. Now go to your pet business page and look at your content. As an outside observer, would it inspire customers? Would it engage them on a regular basis? So start with it personal, because that usually helps you guys understand more effectively what it is about that. It's much more emotional than you believe. I know you all want to sell, and we're going to get to a slide that's going to scare you. I say this all the time. It's not just about selling, it's about emotional connections. And that emotional connection of that yarn business or that coffee shop you love, or this motivational quote from these two good-looking dogs here, is what inspires people. So ask yourself what inspires you. Ask your customers what inspires them. Some of that you can find on your statistics and insights and understand. You're all going to tell me you did a post of something and you couldn't believe how good it was. Without knowing what that post was, I guarantee you it had nothing to do with selling your business. It was a commentary about something. It was a link that you shared. It was an inspirational video or a quote. It was sadly about a pet shop dog that passed away, or about a cute puppy. You inspired people. You made your customers emotional, and that's why it was so good. So that's the content that we're getting to, and that is the money-making content. You take that inspirational content, you link it to your goals, like we talked about here, awareness, engagement. Then you link it, once you get them emotionally connected, then you get to the drives, leads, and sales comment, but not first. Inspire, aware them, make them aware, engage them, and then sell them. Okay? So here you go. Don't panic. 80% informative, useful, and entertaining. You need a marketing mix that creates this emotional connection. So I use this 80-20 rule. Some of you have heard me, you'll see, use the 40-30-30 content. 40-30-30 is personal and useful, and that's really 70%. This is 80%, 80-20. It is not about selling. Inform, educate, entertain, and then directly promote the brand. So when you create a social media calendar that supports your business goals, where you are in the life cycle, what does it do for you? What does it do for your customers? How do you create content that's informative, entertaining, and useful, and then sells your brand? And how do you trust that that content is what they want? I promise you, they want it when they keep coming back, and it isn't all about your selling them something. So put together a calendar. These marketing posts that we're talking about, what do I want to do today? I want to be inspiring. I want to be educational. I want to be informative. I want to be funny today. It will be much better instead of you going and hanging up after this call and being like, okay, I have to be funny today. Big picture, 30,000 feet. What do I want to say in the month of, right? We're August 15th today. You've got 15 days left. What's the rest of the month look like? Go to September. What are the sales goals for September? What's an important category of business for September? Therefore, what kind of products do I need to talk about? And then how can I educate my customers about those products? How can I inform my customers? Yes, how can I sell my customers? Maybe there's some sort of sale activity that goes on in September around those products. But how do I emotionally connect, with my customers? Line it all up in advance, and I promise you, you will have much better success. This happens to be a screenshot of a company called Social Pilot, which allows you to create a calendar, create posts, manage posts. This is a paid service. You can use an Excel spreadsheet. You can use things like Hootsuite to schedule and organize content, but it starts with a calendar. Here's a great formula. So if you haven't tried these things, what do you want to be to people? Those emotional connections we talked about, being informative and inspiring. What are your, if you will, verb of the day here? Well, how do you be humorous? How do you be motivational? How do you engage people? Give back. If you have a big charity component, promote your business. There's 7 days in a week, right? And they just pick Thursday here, but it doesn't have to be Thursday every week. But essentially 20% selling. There's 1 day of, strategic selling, but it's a business promotion. It's a throwback Thursday to a sale you ran last year. So it doesn't have to be beating somebody over the head. But I think these are really great campaign kind of big picture. How do I engage? How do I share lifestyle content? How do I share family fun? Pets are fun for the family. So how do you create content that showcases families having fun, you and your business being the source or the connector of that fun? We carry the products that your dog, cat, fish, bird, horse will like, and your family can have fun with. A Kong, a cat, a cat scratching post, a cooling bed. Anything that you sell can be related to how your pets play with it. Family fun outdoors with a water sprinkler. Motivational Monday. It can just be like, it's tough getting up on work, Mondays. We understand that. Picture of an animal that's tired. A video of a pet that just collapsed out of tiredness. Sometimes in a fun way, not in a collapse because they were heat stroking. But humor, right? So how do you create, again, content that drives sales is content that is personal, humorous, informational, and then sells. I don't want you to lose sight of the fact you are in business to make money. I am here to talk about helping you make money for your pet business. I am also asking you to trust me, and as I educate you on what your customers want, once you connect with them on an emotional level and on a personal level, they will respond in kind by buying from you and becoming loyal to you. Some of you may have seen our 40, 30, 30. That's what I was talking about. This personal, right? Think of other things you can do. That 80-20 rule, again, is where we're all headed. I originally had the 70-30 rule. So whether it's 70-30 or 80-20, it's personal, it's sharing information, and then it's selling your business. And personal is personality, right? Establishing your store in a fun way. It's not just establishing. I know all of you that own retail stores on this call, you are fun. You have a great interaction and rapport with your customers, whether they're four-legged customers, the pets of your customers. You have a personality. What I'm urging you is to turn that personality into social media content, whether that's photos or videos, that then allows you to connect with this customer that wants to be online all the time. Information, right? That could be content, yours or others, videos, how to, right? Create expert status through what you share. A lot of you don't want to be considered experts. You think that's bragging. You are all much, much more educated on all things pet than your customers. So you are experts. You spend time at Global Pet Expo poring over rows and rows of products to buy for your store. You are an expert. You choose this brand over another. So therefore, you have to share that with your customers to tell them why and educate them. And then sell your business. Yes, it's promotional activities. Yes, it's selling, events that you're having, loyalty programs that we talked about to keep customers engaged and coming back. So I just want to run through, not in a fast, speedy way, but I just want to remind you all the stuff we've been talking about today. I just want to kind of make sure that you see boom, boom, boom. Use the store experiences to humanize your social media pages, right? So whether that's your content in a store or something that happened in your store directly, something that happened outside your store, what your customers don't see, maybe the back door, how you got a new delivery in, how you get deliveries 2-3 times a week. Do your customers understand that you are constantly updating new product, and if they miss it a week, they miss a lot? Now, maybe your customers come in for the same foods and treats every single month, but all of a sudden they realize you get new deliveries every single week, 2-3 times a week. It makes you much more interesting. Oh, I better go check out what's new. Many of your customers think shopping is a sport for themselves. If you have female customers, right, they go to a new store when there's a new collection of merchandise in. How do you inspire them to shop in your pet store more often? Because you're constantly getting new things in. Use your social media pages to talk about that, to make that. Your windows changing, right? We talked about that. Your marketing activities, you go to trade shows like Global. Do you engage your customers in that process? I have customers now, and again, I don't know the volume of your biggest customer, but I have customers now who are taking as a fun trip, they're taking their customers to market with them for a day. Maybe you can do that, maybe you can't, maybe it's not logistically possible, but the idea that you could quote take your customers via video, via engagement, maybe doing a quick FaceTime, maybe having a FaceTime or interaction when a vendor comes to teach you something in the store, that may be interesting to your customer, right? They're seeing the behind the scenes working of what they believe is their favorite business, that you take care of their pets. So how do you share behind the scenes? How do you share information? How do you humanize your store, your brand for your customers? Your employees, they have this knowledge. You spend time and energy making sure, and maybe money making sure they get this knowledge, getting them programs, whether it's Pet Store Pro, whether it's education, of the brands you carry. The key to your business is communicating that, because that is absolutely something that you and I both know. If you log on and buy from an e-commerce, you're going to have a hard time finding a sales associate who is knowledgeable about 50,000 SKUs as opposed to, helping take the order on this particular bag of food or this particular brand of supplements. Your associates know the difference. You're very much connected. You have experts in categories of business in your store. Flaunt that expertise to differentiate your pet business from others, but also to give your customers what they want, right? To showcase that you are different. You know, I just added for my pet retail website, which is going live next week, Pet Retail Helper, there's a chat box there. So the chat box will be, what can we help you with? What is your burning desire? What do you need to know? Could you offer a chat box? Is your Facebook Messenger set up so when somebody goes to your Facebook page, it automatically pops up that says, how can we help you? What, you know, thanks for being here. How can we help you today? What pet questions can we answer for you? That makes you valuable to your customers. That makes you communicative quickly because you're responding on a message in a platform they want to respond to you on. So communicate where you're comfortable. Some of you understand this already. It's not just about, right? This whole thing, we haven't talked about giveaways and discounts. This is the first time we're bringing it up. It's about value, speed to purchase, products you carry, knowledgeable sales associates, and yes, occasionally discounts. So how do you create a plan with your social media marketing that will drive all of your customer needs? That drives sales. Product info, tips, and advice, almost as critical as giveaways. I don't think sometimes you all think of that. How many times do you talk about product information? How many times do you give tips on how to use our advice? All those great sales associates you have, they have great tips on everything from, you know, bird food to chicken feed to pet food to raw food. Begin to create a calendar of activity on your social media that showcases that advice, and I promise you will engage and add value to your customers, hence leading to sales. Humor. I know you're all funny when you're outside the office. Can you be funny or the store? Can you be funny on your social media so that you communicate with your customers that it's not all? We are in the pet business. We have lots of memes. I put a cat meme here, right? Because that's the big joke. Everyone shows a cat meme. But what can you be funny about? Is there a great summer video of a dog or somebody, you know, or a bird or somebody talking about something or running through a sprinkler that would be funny, that would make your customers smile on maybe a Monday, you know, when they got to go to work and it's the last Monday of the summer and they're all sad? That's how you align meeting your customers, making them laugh, inspiring them, giving them, right, humanizing your brand, which then leads to awareness, leads to growth of your business, and then leads to sales. So none of these things can happen until you are real to your customers and have the same issues that they do, and understand that life can be challenging and that life needs humor sometimes, life needs motivation sometimes. Life needs video sometimes, not just sometimes, a lot of the time. How do you want to make money from your social media posts? You must use more video. Videos from a consumer perspective, whether that's live video or live streaming. So that's Facebook Live, that's Periscope, which is the Twitter version of live streaming. That's Instagram stories, being live on Instagram. All of these, and from your video tool of choice can be a smartphone, right? A good video can happen from the palm of your hand. So it's not that you all need to create video content, you know, with a produced stage video. It can be as simple as turning the, you know, the video on store. We are in an ADD society, so the statistics, 80% of consumers would rather see live video than read a blog. People are done with reading today, which is part of the reason that video has skyrocketed in terms of use. And video is a great way to introduce more products, more of what goes on in your store, more live look-ins. So here's the key. It's not going away. My recommendation, if you are not at 50 to 60% video, you need to get there pretty quickly. I know, now I definitely see you all groaning. I can see it, I can hear it. But let me just tell you, I put this statistic up to show you about Gen Z, which is after the millennials. So these are, 16 to 22-year-olds, the Gen Zs who were brought up on social media. They want to use video on Instagram, Snapchat, and YouTube all the time. 60%, over 50, all these are the majority. They would rather use these tools, which means if you're not at 50%, 60% video today, and understand that the next generation of your customers, maybe Gen Zs aren't ready to purchase yet because they haven't gotten their own homes and gotten pets, but they will shortly. Video is the future as well. So it may not be your current store today, but it's getting there. And certainly the next generation is going to be very much connected via video. Yes, I'm just delivering you the news. Don't take it out on me. All right, very quickly, I want to just talk to you for a second about what good posts look like. We've spent a lot of time talking about content, and I could talk about it for 7 hours, I promise you. However, I want to make sure you understand it's not just the contents, it's the right words. So when I'm telling you to engage people, that means asking questions in some of your posts. How do you feel today? Would you choose this color or this color? I'm at a trade show. Should we right? You can see here that the words that are best are open-ended. Should, would, which, who. The end of the chain here is how and why. How do you feel about? I don't like it. Should we means we're asking for an opinion. Would you? Okay. So think about the words that you choose to use when you're trying to engage your audience, whether you're taking surveys, asking polls. A great would you is I call it the either or post. Take a picture of 2 products that you're thinking of bringing in. Would you like to see which one of these would you like to see on our floor? Would you like the purple? Would you like the pink? Should we bring in this new product? Okay, those are things that get your customer to engage based on the content you're providing. And this is just a reference I'd love for you to take away. These are the most influential words. So these go in your subject lines of your posts. You can start your post with a hashtag, hashtag new product announcement, hashtag introducing easy, hashtag improvement today, hashtag amazing new products. It gets people paying attention. You're directing their attention to key phrases. Obviously, the persuasive words I want you to know about. So you and we as retailers already know this. Free. We know free is a very good word because instantly new. And I think sometimes we don't capitalize on that. We bought this just for you. An event, a VIP event just for you. Instantly win, enter today. So keep in mind those key persuasive words. You want to build a community around your store. So get your customers to think of themselves as part of a group. So join, become a member, come along, right? Our club, just a club of pet lovers and pet business experts. So come with us, join our ... All right, I beat the dead horse. You know you need to go to mobile. Here's the key. If you go to look, your customers are already there. I'm trying to help you retailers get there. If you want to know, in my opinion, the best way to do some of your mobile, whether you schedule it on Hootsuite, whether you schedule it on Facebook, create your post directly in and on your mobile phone, your mobile device, whether that's a phone or a tablet, and you can get immediate sense of what your customers see. And that way you're like them. Total boring slide, but here are the graphics sizes that you need to understand, whether it's Facebook or Instagram. Take a picture, download this, use this for reference. These are the sizes that get the most interaction. Sorry, had to do it. And then I'm leaving you with this. Either take a picture of this slide or you'll see, you know, I'll give you the whole version. But these are ways, when I say let's write some posts. So all of these 80-20, this share personal information, this, you know, educate us. Here are 40 post ideas that you can use today to put in your calendar to start creating and crafting this emotional and human connection to your customers. Okay. I think I did it. I'm going to leave this here. I saved some time for questions. So let me see. Marcy, are you back on? Do you want me to, are there any questions you want me to, trying to see here. Anyone there? Okay. Is anybody there?
Hi, Lynn.
Yeah.
Hi, it's Marcy. We did get a couple of questions in that I see. I could read those off. The first question was, is there a rule of thumb for when you should follow someone back on social media? If someone or a business is following you, should you automatically follow them back?
So my answer is that is a hello in the terms of social media. When somebody follows you, it's a hello. So my answer is yes, definitely follow them back. And what they're saying is, and make it a personal introduction. Sometimes you'll see Facebook posts that say, hey, we got, you know, 10 new followers this week. Welcome, Sheila, Larry, Bob. Can't wait to talk all things pet with you. You know, glad you're here. It could be a personal message to those people. I mean, depending on how many you're getting, you could send an auto reply that says, thanks for following us. You know, we are glad you're here. Here's a $5 coupon next time you're in the store. You can do a Facebook message directly to new followers. So my answer is yes, that's a hello. And it's a great way for you to make an introduction on a more personal level when somebody follows you. And the other thing is, I know sometimes there's, you know, horrible people that follow you. You can definitely get a sense by who they are if they're just auto followers, and there's people that are sort of sitting in a, you know, computer room and dark somewhere just following brands. Those become more apparent over time, but for the most part in your pet businesses, these are just authentic people that want to follow you.
Great. We've got a couple others. We'll see how many we can get through. But there's another one that says, another question is, do I have to create my own memes or can I use already shared memes?
You can absolutely use shared memes. If you go to Google Images, those are all sort of in the domain already available. And you can also share articles and information. And even in this presentation, you'll see where I sourced other people. I just use the source. Your customers are coming to you for information. You are think of it as you scouring the internet for the most, whether it's in a meme case, fun information, or articles and information. In the case of articles and information, blog posts, you know, industry experts in the pet business talking about it, just credit that source, but put it through your page. Absolutely use other content out there. You don't have to do it all yourself.
And then here's a practical question. Is, can you recommend a good microphone for doing video in your store?
So I literally have a Bose headset which has a microphone in it, which I plug into either my phone or my tablet. A lot of times I have ear pods and I use my ear pods to make these videos. The technology has gotten so good. In terms of video grade microphones, let me get back to you on that person because I can't think of one right now. I'll be honest with you. I just had a client who entered a contest for a Forbes business contest for growing your business, and it was for a $50,000 scholarship, and she did the whole thing on her iPhone, video and all, and she actually won. So the technology is so good today. And the spontaneity is really the key, especially if you look at things like Instagram stories or Instagram TV. The spontaneity is getting a lot of viewership. So I would urge you to sort of be a little bit freewheeling and try to be spontaneous, and video and record some of these videos that way as well to see what your customers have a desire for.
Great. I think we got time for one more question. Another one that came in was, how do you use hashtags properly? I find them overwhelming and a bit confusing.
You are not alone, whoever asked that question, and the other people on the call are happy you asked it. So hashtags become a search tool for many people today. So you want to use relevant hashtags for the content that you're promoting. And a good example would be, you are this webinar. You know, if I promoted this webinar yesterday and the hashtag I used was pet retail, hashtag pet store, hashtag webinar, hashtag social media, hashtag education, right? Those are the things, because what I wanted people to find when they were searching on those terms to find my post. A tool that I use a lot would be #IfyMe, HASHTAGIFY.me, #IfyMe. And what it will do, you will put in a search term and then, or hashtag you want to know, and it will provide you corresponding hashtags that go with that. So it makes it a little bit simpler. It does the search, you know, it scours and says, what are good hashtags that support that? One quick note, create a list of hashtags and go back to it in your notes. So if you're promoting events, create a list of, you know, hashtags that go with your events. If you're creating products and it's pet foods or raw foods, don't redo it every single time. Create a Word document that gives you a list, and all you do is cut and paste them again and again. Okay, I'll stop now.
All right, I'm going to jump in, Lynn. It's Celeste. That was fabulous. Thank you so much, Lynn, and thanks to all of you for participating in today's webinar. Remember, this was recorded, and it will appear on the Global Pet Expo website at globalpetexpo.org under the Seminars tab. And then also be sure to follow our hashtags on social media and check out your email for more information on our next installment, as you see here on the screen, how to create a store experience to improve your sales and garner loyal clientele. Again, follows well to what Lynn just talked about. And that will be with merchandising expert Liel Michelle on October 7th. And you can register online through the Global Pet Expo website. And of course, don't forget to register for Global Pet Expo 2020. And we look forward to seeing all of you in Orlando. Thanks again to Lynn and to Marcy and to all of you for being on. Have a great day.